Hi everyone, my name is Luna, and today I want to share a very special story with you. It's about a time in my life when I realized that someone I cared about was not right for me. This story is full of emotions, lessons, and inspiring moments. By listening to my story, you will not only improve your English, but also learn some important life lessons. Let's begin this journey together. Once upon a time, I met a boy named Ethan. He was charming, funny, and seemed to have a heart full of kindness. We met at a school event, and from that moment, we felt a strong connection. We started spending more and more time together, and every moment with him felt like an exciting adventure. I looked forward to our conversations and the time we spent together. Ethan had a special way of making me laugh, even on my worst days. He would tell jokes, share funny stories, and always knew how to make me smile. We would go on long walks in the park, talk about our dreams, and share our favorite hobbies. It felt like we had known each other forever, and I couldn't imagine my life without him. As our relationship grew, I felt a happiness and excitement that I had never felt before. We would text each other all the time, and every message from him made my heart skip a beat. He surprised me with small gifts and thoughtful gestures, and I truly felt special and loved. I believed I had found the perfect person for me. But as time passed, I started to notice small things that made me question if Ethan was really the right person for me. These doubts slowly grew inside me, and I knew I had to listen to them. At first, they were little things I tried to ignore. Ethan would sometimes make fun of the things I loved. He criticized my interests and hobbies, and even though I laughed it off at first, deep inside, it hurt me. His comments started to add up and made me feel sad. There were times when Ethan would cancel our plans at the last minute without giving a good reason. It made me feel unimportant and left me wondering if he truly cared about spending time with me. I felt lonely and disappointed, but I was too afraid to talk to him about it. I kept hoping things would get better on their own. Ethan also had a group of friends who didn't treat me kindly. They would make rude remarks and leave me out of their conversations. The worst part was that Ethan never stood up for me. It made me question if he valued our relationship the same way I did. Slowly, I started to feel isolated and unsure about where I stood with him, even with all these doubts. I kept telling myself that every relationship had ups and downs. I wanted to believe that things would improve, but deep down, I knew something wasn't right. I couldn't ignore my feelings any longer. The turning point came during a school dance. I had been looking forward to it for weeks. I picked out the perfect dress and was so excited to spend a magical evening with Ethan. When the night finally arrived, I felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. I arrived at the dance, expecting to see Ethan waiting for me with a big smile, but when I got there, he was nowhere to be found. My heart sank. I searched the crowd and finally found him sitting with his friends, laughing and having a good time, without me. I walked up to him and asked why he hadn't greeted me or tried to spend time with me. He simply shrugged and said I was overreacting. His cold and careless attitude broke my heart. At that moment, I realized this wasn't the first time he had made me feel unwanted and hurt. It was a pattern, and I could no longer pretend it wasn't happening. That night, as I stood alone in the crowd, I knew I had to face the truth. I deserved to be with someone who truly valued and respected me, someone who would make me feel special and loved. It was time to accept that Ethan wasn't the right person for me. The next day, I decided to have an honest conversation with him. I knew it wouldn't be easy, but I needed to speak up about my feelings. I took a deep breath and met Ethan at a quiet spot in the park. "Ethan, I need to talk to you about something important," I began, my voice trembling slightly. "I've been feeling hurt and unimportant in our relationship, and I can't stay silent anymore. I need to know if you truly care about us." Ethan looked surprised, but he listened as I spoke from my heart. I told him about the times he made me feel invisible, and how the way his friends treated me had hurt me deeply. I explained that I wanted to be with someone who respected and valued me, and I wasn't sure if he was that person. Ethan's reaction was a mix of defensiveness and coldness. He brushed off my concerns and acted like I was making a big deal out of nothing. His lack of empathy and understanding confirmed everything I had been feeling inside. It became clear that he wasn't willing to change or make our relationship better. With a heavy heart, I made the painful decision to end our relationship. It hurt deeply, but I knew it was the right choice for my happiness and my future. I deserved to be with Someone who loved me for who I truly was. After saying goodbye to Ethan, I went through a tough time. There were days when I felt sad, lost, and even questioned my decision, but I reminded myself that I needed to focus on my own happiness and healing. I surrounded myself with friends and family who cared about me. Their love and support helped me through the darkest days. I began to rediscover the things that made me happy. I took up painting and writing, and both hobbies brought me peace and joy. I also focused on my studies and set new goals for my future. Each day, I grew a little stronger and a little more confident in who I was. Through this experience, I learned important lessons about self-worth. I realized that it's okay to walk away from relationships that don't bring you happiness. It's okay to put your own well-being first. I embraced this new chapter of my life with a fresh sense of hope and determination. I continue to build strong relationships with the people who truly cared about me. I promised myself to live a life filled with kindness, love, and positivity. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it inspires you and reminds you that, no matter how hard things may seem, there is always a path to happiness and healing. Remember, you are strong enough to overcome any challenge and brave enough to create a beautiful new beginning.